The restaurant glowed with golden lights, the kind that made every table look warm and inviting. Soft piano music floated through the air while waiters moved gracefully between smiling families, business executives, and couples celebrating special occasions. Outside, however, the cold evening wind painted a different picture. A young woman stood near the entrance, staring through the glass doors. Her name was Emily. She wore a faded gray coat that had clearly seen better days, and the soles of her shoes were beginning to separate from the leather. Her dark hair was tied back neatly despite the drizzle, and although exhaustion filled her eyes, she carried herself with quiet dignity. She had not eaten a proper meal in almost 2 days. Emily wasn't looking for charity. She wasn't searching for sympathy. She simply wanted one decent meal before attending what she hoped would be a life-changing job interview the following morning. She had counted every coin in her purse 3 separate times before deciding that perhaps, just perhaps, she had enough. Taking a deep breath, she pushed open the heavy glass door. The warmth inside wrapped around her immediately. For the first time all day, she felt safe. A hostess smiled politely. "Good evening. Table for one?" Emily nodded softly. "Yes, just one." The hostess led her to a small table near the window. It wasn't in the center of the restaurant where the wealthy guests laughed over expensive wine, but Emily didn't mind. She was grateful simply to sit down. She picked up the menu carefully. Everything looked delicious. Roasted chicken with garlic potatoes. Creamy mushroom pasta. Fresh baked bread. Steak with vegetables. Her stomach growled loudly. After several minutes, a waiter approached with a friendly smile. "Can I get you something to drink?" "Just water, please." He nodded and returned moments later. Emily studied the prices again. Her fingers trembled slightly. She had exactly enough money if she ordered the least expensive meal. It would leave almost nothing for tomorrow, but she convinced herself that one good dinner would give her enough strength to face the interview. "I'll have the vegetable soup and the grilled chicken special." Excellent choice. As the waiter walked away, Emily closed her eyes for a second. Everything will be okay. It has to be. Across the room, an older gentleman noticed her. He wasn't watching because of her clothes. He wasn't judging. Something about the quiet sadness on her face reminded him of someone he had once known. His name was William Carter. Most people in the city recognized him as the founder of one of the largest construction companies in the state. Newspapers often described him as a billionaire businessman, but very few knew that decades earlier he had once slept on park benches after losing everything. He understood the look of someone pretending not to be hungry. The food arrived. Steam rose gently from the bowl of soup. Emily whispered, "Thank you." She ate slowly, savoring every spoonful as though it were the finest meal she'd ever tasted. To everyone else, it was just dinner. To her, it felt like hope. For the first time in weeks, she smiled. When the chicken arrived, she carefully cut it into tiny pieces, making the meal last as long as possible. William continued watching from a distance, not intruding, simply observing. Then something unexpected happened. Emily reached into her purse. She emptied every coin onto the table. Quarters. Dimes. Nickels. Pennies. She counted them once. Twice. 3 times. The color slowly drained from her face. She had miscalculated. Tax. She had forgotten the tax. The realization hit her like a wave. She quietly gathered the coins back into her purse. The waiter returned with the bill. Emily looked down. Her hands began shaking. I'm so sorry." The waiter frowned politely. "Is something wrong?" Emily swallowed hard before forcing herself to speak. "I can't afford this meal." The words barely escaped her lips. "I thought I had enough, but I forgot the tax." The nearby conversations continued without anyone noticing. She stood slowly, her cheeks burning with embarrassment. "I'll wash dishes, clean tables, anything." I promise I wasn't trying to avoid paying. The waiter looked uncomfortable. It's restaurant policy. Emily nodded before he could finish. I understand. She picked up her worn coat. I'm sorry. Her voice cracked. I really am. She turned toward the door, fighting back tears. Each step felt heavier than the last. Years of struggling. Months of searching for work. Countless rejections. And now this. She reached for the door handle. I can't afford this meal, she whispered again, almost to herself. Then she began walking away. Before she could leave the restaurant, a calm voice echoed behind her. Miss. The entire restaurant seemed to fall silent. Emily slowly turned around. William Carter had risen from his table. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't showing pity. He simply looked at her with the understanding of someone who had once stood exactly where she was. If you don't mind, he said gently, would you come sit with me for just 5 minutes? Emily hesitated. I don't want charity. I know. I'll pay you back somehow. William shook his head. I didn't ask you to. She looked confused. Then why? He smiled softly. Because 28 years ago, someone stopped me when I was walking away from a restaurant for the very same reason. Emily stared at him in disbelief. William continued. I told the manager I couldn't afford my meal. I was certain my life was over. He paused. One stranger changed everything. Emily slowly walked back toward the table, uncertain what was happening but unable to ignore the sincerity in his voice. She sat down across from him. William folded his hands. Tell me your story. For the next several minutes, Emily spoke honestly. She explained how she had lost her apartment after caring for her sick mother. How medical bills consumed every dollar she had saved. How she had applied for over 100 jobs. How tomorrow's interview was her final chance before the small motel she was staying in forced her to leave. She never once asked for money. She never complained. She simply told the truth. When she finished, William remained silent for several moments. Finally, he reached into the inside pocket of his jacket. Emily immediately raised her hand. Please, if that's money, I can't take it. William smiled. It isn't. He placed a simple white business card on the table. Emily looked down. The name printed on it made her eyes widen. Emily stared at the business card as if she couldn't believe what she was reading. William Carter. Founder and Chairman. Carter Construction Group. She looked up at the man sitting across from her, then back at the card. This is really you? William smiled modestly. It is. Emily had heard the name countless times. Carter Construction wasn't just another company. It had built schools, hospitals, community centers, and office towers across the country. William Carter's success story had inspired thousands of entrepreneurs. I've read about you, Emily said quietly. People say you built an empire. William chuckled softly. They usually leave out the first chapter. He leaned back in his chair. 28 years ago, I was 24 years old. I had lost my job, my apartment, and every dollar I owned. One night I walked into a small diner because I hadn't eaten in nearly 3 days. Emily listened carefully. I ordered the cheapest meal on the menu. Just like you did tonight. When the bill came, I realized I was short by less than $2. He looked down at the table, remembering. I was embarrassed beyond words. I apologized over and over, convinced everyone was judging me. What happened? Emily asked. The owner stopped me before I reached the door. William smiled at the memory. He didn't hand me money. He didn't make a speech. He simply asked me one question. Emily waited. He asked, if someone believes in you today, what will you do with that belief tomorrow? The words hung in the air. I promised him I'd work harder than anyone he'd ever met. William looked directly at Emily. He believed me. What did he do? He gave me a job washing dishes. Emily blinked. That doesn't sound like much. It wasn't. William laughed. But it was everything. He continued, I worked mornings washing dishes, afternoons loading trucks, and nights studying construction management at the public library. That must have been exhausting. It was. But every difficult day reminded me that someone had invested trust in me. Emily looked down at her hands. I wish someone would believe in me like that. William's expression softened. That's exactly why I stopped you. Before Emily could respond, the restaurant manager approached nervously. Mr. Carter, is everything all right? William nodded. Everything is perfect. He handed the manager his credit card. I'll take care of Miss Emily's dinner. The manager smiled warmly. Of course, sir. Emily immediately protested.